All right, here's a series called Media Manipulation Terms. This is part one, and the term is status conferral. This is a term I learned while in mass communications at college. It was one of the first terms that really stood out to me, that started to have me look at media not as our friend, but as our enemy. Now, this term isn't as exciting as some of the other ones, but this was the one that started it all for me. Status conferral. Here's the definition. Status conferral is the notion that press coverage singles out and confers importance upon the person or group covered. Here's another definition. Status conferral, a belief by the audience, justified or not, that simply being featured is a sign of importance. What is status conferral? Giving unqualified people the right and honor to be put in positions of power. For example, many celebrities who head up organizations because of their status and fame. Now, these are all definitions that kind of blame the viewer, but with media, you always have to return the blame because they always love to blame you. For instance, in class, we used to be trained to say that if somebody blames the media for controlling people or controlling reality, we were trained to say, we in the media don't tell people what to think. We tell people what to think about. As if that made it any better. But to me, what status conferral is, it is part of the distraction. And you'll see what I mean on the next slide, but whenever I talk about distraction, at least once a day when I see the way people respond to stimuli, I always ask, were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? Look again. And I know a bunch of guys that say, oh yeah, man, I'm looking at the woman in the red dress, and they don't care. They want the steak. They want the woman in the red dress. They don't care about truth. But that's their prerogative. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that don't want the truth, and they fight to remain a part of that system. So here are some examples. Now, these are kind of dated, but these were the examples from when I was in college, which was in the very late 90s, early 2000s. The O.J. Simpson trial, Anna Nicole Smith death, Gary Condit, Chandra Levy, Joey Buttafuoco, Amy Fisher, Lacey Peterson disappearance, Elian Gonzalez, Michael Jackson's death, Natalie Holloway disappearance, Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction, Timothy McVeigh, Oklahoma City, John Benet Ramsey murder, Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan, Princess Diana's death, Monica Lewinsky, Iran-Contra, Ollie North. And there's a list of 100 of them at this link below on this slide. And these things used to dominate the news, and sometimes they'd interrupt, like, I hate to say it, my sports coverage, but you were inundated with these stories. And present day, it's Russia, Trump, Russia, possible collusion, Trump, Russia, possible collusion. Actually, two that come to mind quickly are the Malaysian airline that went disappearing and Donald Sterling, the guy that made the racist comments. He was the basketball team owner. Oh, and Trayvon Martin and Zimmerman. One of the things it was presented to me was that all of these status conferral topics have some form of a societal agenda built into them. Since they're seemingly harmless events, the media then utilizes them to train you how to think on certain topics, craft your opinion, craft your approach, your perspective, and then you end up unconsciously utilizing these engineered decisions into your mind, and you apply that to the rest of your life. So as these topics are covered, if it's like a celebrity that did something wrong and they're being scolded, everybody else takes that scolding as their own personal scolding, or they observe it as this behavior is being extinguished and you should not behave like this. So they can utilize this citizen celebrity that was made into a celebrity, or an actual celebrity that did something wrong, and then train you to say, see, this is bad. A quick example of this media training of your mind and behavior is you were then required to observe and call Bruce Jenner Caitlyn Jenner, and that it was inappropriate to ever refer to Bruce Jenner as Bruce Jenner, and that Bruce Jenner was in fact a woman, and you must call Bruce Jenner Caitlyn Jenner from there on out. And to clear my name, during the campaign, I did enjoy watching Blair White, so don't call me transphobic, even though I really don't care what you call me. No, for real, I mean, if the Wachowskis want to turn themselves into fish, I'll still watch Matrix 4 if they ever make it. And sometimes these status conferral topics may be not trigger moments, but indicators to sleeper cells to activate. And other times they may be secret communication of something. And many times, if not most of the time, it's a form of wagging the dog to indicate that attention is being purposely diverted from something of greater importance to something of lesser importance. So I just wanted to make you aware of status conferral. I will be continuing this series enlightening you with other media manipulation terms that I would like you to be aware of. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you aren't already.